Good morning, students. Sai Ram. Today we are going to start a new chapter, which is planning. But before starting this chapter, I have to inform you that this is my last video of this month because your summer vacation are coming. Okay, so I gave you some questions, some case studies questions to solve at your home as your home assignment. Okay, class? Okay, now our next chapter is planning. Okay, what is planning? What do you understand by the planning? First, you all know in the management there are 5 functions. Number 1 is planning, second is organizing, third is staffing, next is directing, and last one is controlling. So, planning is the primary function or first function of management, because without planning we do not achieve our objective. Okay, so in this chapter we are going to start what is planning, what is its features, what are its importance, types of plan, and its limitations also. Okay, class? Okay, students, so planning means deciding in advance what to do, how to do, and when to do. Means the objective which we want to establish, which we want to achieve, what is its main motive, how it is to be done, and when is to be done, and who is by whom is to be done. All these things are decided in the planning. Okay, so before starting any program, any process of management, first we have to do planning and then other functions of management. Okay, class? Now, meaning of planning. As we all know, planning means to deciding or forecasting in advance what to do and how to do. Okay, and also it is a primary function of management. It is also known as forward looking function. Why it is called forward looking function? Because it bridges the gap between the present and the future. It fills a gap between, means it helps us in deciding or reaching our objective, our future destination. Means it connect us where we are and to the where we want to go. Okay, understood? Planning means to deciding or to forecasting, and it is also a forward looking function. Now, its definition and its features. Definition of planning. According to Kunst and O'Donnell, planning bridges the gap from where we want to go. It makes possible for things to occur while would not otherwise happen. Okay, we have already discussed it. So move ahead. Now, features of planning. There are 7 features of planning. Features means its characteristics. So, first feature is it focuses on achieving objective. Second, it is a primary function of management. Third, it is a all pervasive function. Next, it is a continuous process. Next, it is a futuristic. Next, it involves decision making, and last one is it is a mental exercise. So let's start one by one. Number 1 is it focuses on achieving objective. Okay. First, we have to decide objective. And who help to decide our objective? Planning. If we want to decide an objective, if we want to start a company, then what is the motive behind it? The objective, which is very important. Okay, and how can we achieve our objective? Objective means end result. How can we get our objective? By making plans. So planning helps us or focuses on achieving objective. Okay. Number second is it is a primary function of management. As we discussed, it is helpful in achieving objective, means that means it is a first function. So second feature is also covered under first point. It is a primary function of management. Okay, because when we do planning, if we decide our objective, then we make plans, okay, and get that desired result. Next one is it is all pervasive. Okay, all pervasive means applicable in all areas of management, whether it is top level management, whether it is middle level management or lower level management. In all levels of management, planning requires. How? Because planning gives an idea of doing work to the manager, like in all areas, like in top level, in middle level, and also in lower level. All three managers want or do planning for managing their employees. So it is all pervasive, it is applicable in all areas. It is not only for the top level management. Okay, management is required in all levels. Okay, now next point is it is a continuous process. Management is a continuous process. It is never ending process. It runs continuously. It may be changes, like because our environment is dynamic. Okay, it may change, but it never end. Okay, if we want to get our result, if we want to achieve our goal, then we have to work according to the plan. So planning is required in every level and in every process of management. Next one is it is futuristic. Why we make plan? For future, na? So it is required for future, so we can say that planning is a futuristic function. Now next one is it involves decision making. Why we make plan? Because it is very helpful to find out the best alternative, the best course of action which we take and achieve our objective. Like if we want to go on a trip, then we have many options, but while we doing planning, plan according to our budget, according to our wish, according to the family's wishes, family's suggestions, then there are many alternatives, na? But according to the planning means we make plans, the budget, our budget, and after taking all these alternatives, we decide only one destination. Okay, means it is very helpful in decision making. As same as in organization, there are many options, many alternatives, so it is very helpful to select the best alternative, best option for doing any job. Okay, now last one is it is a mental exercise. Mental exercise means it requires high thinking. Okay, it is very important and for our intellectual ability. We have to prove our intellectual ability while we make plan. So it is a mental exercise because it requires high thinking. I hope you all are understand these points. Now next one is importance of planning. Why the planning is important? What is the need of planning? There are 6 points which tell us why we need a planning. Like number 1, it provides direction. Number 2, it reduces the risk of uncertainties. Number third, it reduces the overlapping and wasteful activities. Fourth, it involves innovative ideas. Fifth, it helps in decision making. And last one is it sets standards for controlling. Okay, let's discuss it one by one. Its first point is it provides direction. Okay, it provides a way how to do, what to do, so that the employee do according to that. So it provides direction to do a task. Okay class, first importance is it provides direction to the employees how to do a work. Now second one is it reduces the risk of uncertainty. It helps the manager to overcome the uncertainty because a good planner try to force the future by making some assumptions while making plan. So we able to take these risks, and so we can say that it is very helpful to reduce the risk of uncertainty. Okay, now next point is it involves innovative ideas. Yes, as we learned earlier, the feature it is a mental exercise, means it require high thinking. So when we think a lot, then many ideas came in our mind, and many innovative ideas are also coming have came in our mind while making plan. So due to intellectual exercise, or due to intellectual reading, due to high intelligence, it involves innovative ideas. Okay, next is it helps in decision making. As we uh, learn as its feature, it is very helpful in decision making because it provides many ways of doing a task, many ideas, but it is also help in choosing the best idea, the best way of doing task. Okay, now last one is it sets the standards for controlling. It sets the standards for controlling means, first of all we have to understand what is controlling. Controlling means to not to control anybody. Controlling means to evaluating the standard which is fixed by the planning and the desired results. Okay, means the actual results. Controlling means to comparing, to take out the result, to find out whether the work is doing according to that or not. So who provide standards to the controlling? Because in controlling we compare the standards, uh, the primary standard and the final or actual standard. So who gives a standard to the controlling? Planning. Planning gives the standard to the controlling. Okay, so it is very important for controlling because it provides standard to the controlling. Now we have done. Next one is limitations of planning. Limitations of planning. The first one is it leads to rigidity. It may not work in a dynamic environment. It reduces creativity. It is a time consuming process and it does not guarantee success. Let's discuss it one by one. First point is it leads to rigidity. Once the plan have made, it may not be the manager may not be able to change its plan because its feature is it is rigid, it is not flexible. Okay, let's take an example. If a company plan to produce one commodity, one any commodity, okay, let's take an example of jeans. straight jeans. Okay, if a company start making straight jeans, but due to the change in fashion, change in trend, narrow jeans or damaged jeans are very trending in the market, but they have already started work on it. So when the marketing department give information to the company that the need of the demand of damaged or narrow jeans is rises, it affect the plan of that manager, because manager also start working on that straight jeans. Okay, so it may very difficult, because he give order according to that, he have already doing work on that. It is not possible to change its plan, so it create a situation of rigidity. Okay, now next one is, it may not work in a dynamic environment. As we studied in from the first chapter that management may work in a dynamic environment, but here planning may not work in a dynamic environment, because the environment, our business environment, is continuously changes. Okay, many policies or many laws, they have changed, or many or we can take an example of changing trend or fashion. The continuous changing environment also affect the planning, and we have already learned in first point, it leads to rigidity, means we cannot change frequently. So we can say that our planning, it may not work in a dynamic environment, because environment is continuously changing, but our planning may not work on that environment. We cannot frequently change our planning. Okay, now third limitation is, it reduces creativity. Okay, how it reduces the creativity? Let's take an example. The plans have already made, and all the employees, managers blindly follow that plan. If a manager wants to give initiative, but the management will not listen him, because plan has already started and all follow the plan blindly. Okay, management do not allow the manager or any employee to take initiative at the time of implementing the plan. But if the that person bring his idea at the time of making plan, then they invite their initiative, appreciate them for their contribution. But during the implementation of plan, anybody, whether it is a employee or a manager, they cannot express their idea, or they cannot involve, they cannot bring their creativity at that time. Okay, now next point is, it is a time consuming process. Why we can say that it is a time consuming process? Look, before making plan, many data, many meetings we have to arrange, and after many assumptions, many predictions, plans have made, means it takes lots of time. So we can say that it is time consuming and also cost consuming, because many experts are involved in that. Okay, they and the company have to pay them according to their fees. So we can say that it is a time consuming and cost consuming process. Next one is, it does not guarantee success. Okay, we make plan as per the prediction, as per the assumption, it cannot guarantee success. If anybody think that our earlier plan was very good and we got maximum profit, but it does not guarantee that that particular plan uh, will um, will be profitable in future. Okay, because many things are involved, environment are changing, many um, things like government policies will also change, so it does not work in a future. So we can say that it does not guarantee success. Now limitations have finished. Now the process of planning. How the planning works. In this point, we have to understand what is the process of planning. We have to understand this step by step. Like number one is establishing of objective. Before planning, first we have to establish the objective. What is the end result we want? Okay, so in a if it is an organization, or if we want to plan something, then our objective is very important. After deciding objective, then we start planning. Okay, so the first point is establishing of objective. Next one is developing premises. Developing premises means developing assumptions. Let's take an example. If you want to go on holiday, if we want to go on a trip for holiday, so we have many options. How can we go? By air, by train, by bus? What is our destination? In which hotel we want to stay? What are the viewpoints of that particular place? And there are many options where we want to go. So these assumptions, these all imaginary things are known as developing premises. After deciding objective, our next step is to developing premises, imagining things, assumptions in our mind, and after that we have to evaluate and select the alternative. Means after deciding our objective and then developing premises, means assumption, predictions in our mind, the next step is to evaluate and select the best alternative, because developing premises give us many areas, many options, and among these options, first we have to evaluate which is better for us, and after evaluating we have to select the best alternative among the many alternatives. Okay, after establishing objective, developing premises, and evaluating these alternatives, and after selecting the best alternative, our next point is to formulate, drive, derivative plan. We have to say that formulate or implement. Okay, and after that we have to implement these plan in our process. And after that, next is securing cooperation and participation. Means we need the participation of employees to its process. Okay, and after that our last process is review and follow up. Follow up means to check whether the process is okay or not, means the result we want, means the objective we want will achieve or not. Means why we make plan? To achieve our objective. Means the process, the last step of this process is to check whether the plan is move according to the plan or not. Okay, according to the objective or not. Okay students, process is also completed. Now types of plan. Now what is plan? Plan is a document, written document, which help us to find out the best way of doing a task. Okay, now plan is also categorized under two headings. First one is standing plan, second one is single use plan. Standing plan. Standing plan means the plan which we use regularly, repeatedly. And single use plan means which we use for a short period of time or for a specific objective, which we used in a one time. Generally single use plan used for one time only, and standing plan we can use repeatedly. Okay, now I hope you all have understood the difference between the standing and single use plan. Now classification of these plans. Plan is divided into two parts, standing plan and single use plan. Now standing plan is also divided into four categories. Number one is policy, second procedure, third method, and fourth one is rule. Now single use plan is also divided into two parts. Number one is program and number two is budget. Now we have to understand these points one by one. Number one is strategy. Guess what is strategy? Strategy is a comprehensive plan. Let's take an example. If a company sale is going down and down day by day, so he want to increase its sale, then they do, they give discount. Okay, they give 50% discount, 80% discount on that product, on the selling of that product. So this is its strategy to increase the sale. Okay, I hope you understand strategy. Next one is objective. Objective means the end result. I hope you have noticed that objective and strategies are not these 2 points are also a plan, but they have not come under both the categories, single use or standing, because strategies and objectives, they neither be a single use, they never be a standing plan. Okay, they are separate. Now next is policy. Policy means the general guidelines which a company make to solve the problems of employees. These are the general rules, we can say that, which the employees have to follow, which helps to resolve all the difficulties, all the conflicts between them. Okay, and also helpful in maintaining discipline. Next one is procedure. Procedure means step by step working. Means procedure help a company. Procedure is a type of plan which help the employees to do a task step by step. How can they do their task? Step by step means first step which they take, second, and then third. Okay, now next is rules. Now rules are the strict journal guidelines. Strict guidelines who guide the employees, but policies may be changed, but rules strictly followed by them. There is a little difference between policies and rules. Policies and rules both are general guidelines, but policies may be changed, may be modified, may be molded according to the situation. They are flexible, but rules are strictly followed by the all department, all organization. Okay, they are rigid in nature. Next one is method. Method means method of doing a task. Let's take an example. If we want to calculate the depreciation on any machinery, on any truck, anything, if we want to calculate the depreciation, then what the method we adopt, whether straight line method or written down method. Okay, the method helps the employee to select, to decide the method which they use to do a work. Next is budget. Budget is also comes under the plan. Budget means deciding the investment, where we invest, how uh, we invest according to our savings. Or we can say that budget is a statement of expected result which is expressed generally in a numerical form. Okay, like the government of India make budget, your mother also make budget, what amount of money invested in um, rationing, what amount of money invest or expend in your studies, or what are their savings. All of the division or the distribution of money is known as budget. Now next one is program. Program means it is a set of rules, policies, procedure, method. Okay, program means when we want to organize a party, organize a function for an organization, then there are many rules, there are many policies, there are many methods of doing tasks. Then all these comes under which heading? Program. Means program is a combination or the set of rules, procedure, plan, policies, and etc. Okay, your this chapter have completed. I hope you all studied well. Okay class, there are some questions, case studies. There also is also here question number 2, answer. Class, I want to say again, it may be my last video because your summer vacation is coming. So I have given some question in PDF. Solve these questions at your home. Stay at your home. Be safe. Thank you. Sai Ram.